Two illegal narcotics and drug paraphernalia found inside of a Greenwood home this morning.
And the man inside that home was arrested. I'm John Herrick. He's been identified as Kenji Edison. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says this is not Edison's first run-in with law enforcement.
We've had other incidents where he's been arrested and brought to our jail on some criminal charges.
Edison is also accused of raping a woman at gunpoint in 2019. Burgess credits the community for calling in with tips about Edison's behavior. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Temperatures are supposed to fluctuate the next few days, and you've got an unpredictable forecast headed into March.
So that's why we get this roller coaster of temperatures. When a system is approaching us, we get warmer air that pushes northward. We warm up, and then as the system starts to move out, the cold air that's behind the system pushes in, and then we get colder. So that's why you see the roller coaster in temperatures.
Greg Menlo with the National Weather Service says one thing's for sure, it's going to be windy the next couple of days. Rolls-Royce workers in Indianapolis will not be hitting the picket lines. United Auto Workers members announced yesterday they've reached a tentative deal with the company just before their contract deadline.
While the bargaining team behind me are extremely proud of this tentative agreement and all the work that it took to win it, we know that ultimately this decision is up to our members and our members alone.
UAW President Shawn Fain confirmed the deal late last night, saying the 5-year agreement does come with some big pay raises. And basketball fans will enjoy a fresh blend of comedy and entertainment through a new partnership. Ryan Hedrick explains.
Joey Graziano with Pacer Sports and Entertainment says the organization is teaming up with Heartbeat. It's a global entertainment brand owned by comedian Kevin Hart. Graziano says the goal is to bring fans something fresh and exciting.
We know we're going to lean into music and have music festivals. We've got incredible assets here like Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but also throughout this city.
And the partnership starts during WNBA All-Star Weekend in July. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-285-0395. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395. 800-285-0395.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Harrison? Bad delay on the south side, westbound 465 after the White River. A vehicle fire blocking 2 right lanes. And jamming us up back to I-69. Crash northeast side in Lawrence, 75th east of Oakland Road. And inbound 65 stop and go 20. Traffic from 29th Street to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by The Tile Shop. Pros get more at The Tile Shop. More selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget. More perks and more service like free curbside pickup. Start getting more at The Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy today with winds gusting at 30 miles per hour. Some cloud cover at times with a spotty shower in eastern Indiana. Highs near 53. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Well, Hammer, the waiting game is underway. Still waiting for the first pieces of information from the Epstein client list. My name is Nigel. That is Jason Hammer over there. I don't know. Okay, let me just play a clip from last night. This is from Attorney General, the AG Pam Bondi, Trump's Attorney General. She was on Jesse Waters on Fox.
There are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims, 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
I think we've had a lot of time to protect the identity of the victims.
Right.
I mean, that should have been, you would have thought that would have been done a long time ago.
Or even some moles or informants, right? If there was somebody on the inside that
working
was
undercover.
Right. But here we are, and nothing yet. Now, what we have is a group of social media influencers, conservative-leaning social media influencers, like Chaya from Libs of TikTok, Jack Posobiec, some very popular right-leaning personalities on Twitter and social media.
Okay.
They allegedly have these binders, and you can find pictures of them holding these binders that are supposed to be loaded with Epstein information. Can I just say that I think this is a really dumb idea? This is something that the previous administration would have done, right? Take out Epstein and replace it with January 6th. This type of stunt is something that is gross, especially when you consider what we're talking about. Children, sex trafficking, some of the grossest things imaginable. And you're going to do a stunt with influencers?
On not only those things that you said, secondarily, and it's very serious as well, the cover-ups. What happened to the security guards? Why did they fall asleep? Epstein dead in his cell. All of a sudden, the security cameras aren't working in his cell. Things of that kind of nature as well. And so all these social media, political influencers, like you said, are kind of on X, on Instagram, like holding up these white binders that say the Epstein Files Phase 1, but we don't know anything more than that.
Right. So somebody had to organize this stunt, right? I'm a former events manager, promotional marketing manager. This just didn't happen organically. They didn't just pass out these binders to the first, popular faces they saw at the White House today. That's not how this works. This was an invite-only thing. And when you're talking about sex with children and trafficking, this is a bad idea. This is something the libs do. This is something the Democrats do. And whoever in the Trump administration, whoever is responsible for this, whoever's idea it was, needs to be fired immediately.
Don't make it some sort of bit or event or some sort of show or even some sort of rollout where they're making a big spectacle of it.
Right.
Release the contents, because this is, yes, several people were affected horribly by this. There's some gross stuff in there from what the Attorney General was saying.
We're not talking about politics. We're talking about crime. Hardcore crime, and people are just going to get clicks first because they got the binder. That whole thing is gross to me. This, I think, is the first big mistake that the new Trump administration has had. I've loved what they've done on the border. Absolutely love it. To the point to where they don't even talk about the border on the news anymore because it's basically under control. Love what they're doing with Doge. I'm Team Doge, right? Find the corruption. Find how my money's being wasted. I'm in on it. But this little social media influencer stunt with conservative flamethrowers getting the Epstein information and they're allowed to leak it out so they can get clicks, that sucks. That's a bad idea and somebody needs to be fired.
And so far, it looks like still so many people on this list and people that were involved in this investigation have gotten away with things that need to be held accountable.
100%. You're absolutely right. Now, another wild story that's been unfolding all day is the death of Gene Hackman, along with his wife and his dog at their residence in New Mexico, in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman, 95 years old, one of the greatest actors of all time.
Love him.
Academy Award winner, and he did so many different roles, from westerns to comedies to action movies, dramas. I mean, it wasn't just like Billy Bob Thornton or Charlie Sheen, where they play themselves in everything.
Yeah.
Every one of their characters is basically just them. No, Gene Hackman had to act. And earlier today, when we found out that they were all found deceased in their home, most people thought, okay, is this carbon monoxide poisoning? What's going on here? And the first reports we heard this morning were that they're not saying that this was anything that was out of the ordinary, right?
No foul play.
No foul play. That's
They
right.
found Gene and his younger wife, who's in her 60s, dead, along with the dog.
Well, the update now is the authorities have called this suspicious. Their deaths are now suspicious.
I'm reading the headline on FoxNews.com. Gene Hackman's death called suspicious as bodies showed signs of mummification.
So they'd been gone for a while.
Yay.
Some of the suspicious findings, according to the detectives in Santa Fe, the front door of the residence was found opened and unsecured. The deceased dog was laying about 10 to 15 feet away from Gene's wife in a closet of the bathroom, while a healthy dog was found roaming freely on the property. There was a heater that had been moved out of place. There were prescription pill bottles that were opened with pills scattered next to the female body. Gene's body was located in a separate room of the residence. No signs of a gas leak, according to the Santa Fe County Sheriff, Aiden Mendoza.
You know, the gas leak thing, that angle immediately entered my mind because that's how Weird Al's parents died.
That's
if you
right.
remember several years ago, he lost both of his parents to just a carbon monoxide malfunction in their house. But yeah, I mean, I'll just read just a little part of this, the beginning of this Fox News story that was just released. Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman found dead alongside wife. Search warrant affidavit obtained by Fox News Digital revealed that Hackman's wife was found decomposed with bloating on her face and mummification in her hands and feet. Hackman was found to have the same signs of decomposition as his wife. Detectives believe the circumstances surrounding the death of he and his wife are now suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation.
So the pills and the dog being locked up,
Right,
but the front door being open, all of this kind of stuff has made the authorities go from no foul play to we got a ball game. We got something suspicious here. We don't know what's going on, but these bodies had been there for a while, and there is something suspicious. Of course, when you think of Gene Hackman, of all the roles that he's done, if you live in this state, you think about his role in the movie Hoosiers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the director of Hoosiers, David Anspaugh, he said that Gene Hackman hated doing that movie. He was miserable on the set because he thought it was going to fail. David Anspaugh called into Rich Eisen's program on the NFL Network a couple of years ago and talked about Gene Hackman's attitude on the set of the movie Hoosiers.
There's a scene in the montage when Hickory starts winning, and there's a shot of Dennis Hopper, and the camera's across the floor, and it's shooting toward the Hickory bench. And you see, and you got music going, and you see Hopper and Hackman sitting there, and you see Dennis kind of laugh and slap his leg. That was a reaction, and I didn't find this out until just a couple of years before Dennis passed. He finally told me. He said, "Don't you know what happened there?" He said, Hackman said to me, "Dennis, I hope you've invested well because we'll never work again after this film."
Oh, wow.
He had no belief in that movie or me at the time. He said that, and now he admitted that when he travels and stuff, people, of course, Popeye, of course, you know,
Sure.
French Connection, he gets probably more than anything, it's Norman Dale, you know? Or people will yell, "I'll make it, coach," or, you know, whatever. But he was brilliant. But he was really, really difficult.
Is that the character he's most known for? you think, generally speaking, in Hollywood?
I mean, he won the Oscar for French Connection, won an Oscar for Unforgiven.
French Connection's just an unbelievably, just a killer movie. So good.
Lex Luthor in those Superman movies. But to me, again, I'm a kid that grew up in Indiana. It's always going to be Coach Dale.
Sure.
Here are some of my favorite Coach Dale lines from the movie Hoosiers.
Where are you going? In the game. Sit down. What do you mean? You gotta have 5 out there. Sit down. Sit. Coach, need one more. My team's on the floor.
How far? 10 feet. 10 feet. I think you'll find it's exact same measurements as our gym back in Hickory.
Forget about the crowds, the size of the school, their fancy uniforms, and remember what got you here. Focus on the fundamentals that we've gone over time and time again. And most important, don't get caught up thinking about winning or losing this game. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential to be the best that you can be, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, in my book, we're going to be winners. Okay?
Get it going, Nige.
Come on, slow clap.
Come on, Allison, get in. Come on.
All right.
Everybody.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let me hear it. Go.
There we go. So, man, one of the great ones, Gene Hackman. A lot of questions surrounding this, but, man, watch Hoosiers tonight if you can. If you have time, watch Hoosiers tonight. So good. Matt Bear, what's up?
Southside vehicle fire westbound 465 of the White River, and that's blocking the right lane. It's slowing traffic back to I-69 on the south side. Inbound 65 stop and go MLK to Meridian Pet. It's a 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow to the south split back from Harding. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up here in about 45 minutes or so, Senator Jim Banks will call into this program. I got a lot of stuff to chat with the senator about. That's coming up in just a little bit. 55 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Come on back. We're having a good time. A lot of stuff going on today. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Xfinity here. How can we help?
Hi. My daughter invited her entire class to her birthday party. Can my Wi-Fi handle it?
Oh, well, at Xfinity, our latest gateways have tri-band Wi-Fi technology, letting you connect hundreds of devices at once.
No way. So if all the kids are watching stuff on their phones, well, their parents are sharing videos online.
Yep, go ahead and watch videos. They can all do their thing and party their way. No problem.
Oh, we are going to need a bigger cake.
Now through March 23rd, get Xfinity Gig Internet for $25 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add an unlimited mobile line. Plus, get free Wi-Fi equipment included for 2 years. Switch today and join the network that delivers gig speed to the most homes. Xfinity, bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless plan auto-pay start bank account. Taxes and fees extra. $40 internet discount applied to mobile bill. After 12 months, internet rate increases to $65. After 24 months, regular rates apply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Reduce mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Data thresholds and actual internet speeds vary.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. Have you been dreaming of kitchen updates since the new year began? My friends at Hope Plumbing want you to love your plumbing. Update your faucets, fixtures, water heaters, and more with a $100 off a $500 plus plumbing service. Make your remodel dreams or small home update wishes come true and start to love your plumbing again. Call and schedule an appointment today at 317-641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer, right over there. Please, Mr. Attorney General of Indiana, Todd Rokita, do us the honor of kicking off an edition of Legal Stuff.
Legal Stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal Stuff.
What we got, Hammer?
So let's go back almost a year. Remember in the first round of the NBA playoffs, the Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Pacers beat the Bucks.
Hell yeah.
One of the games here in Indy, one of the Bucks players at the time, Patrick Beverly, he got into it with some fans, and he took a basketball and just chucked it into the stands.
Bad idea.
And it hit a woman in the face. And then the ball landed, and some dude handed the ball back to, the Bucks bench. He grabbed it again and threw like another really hard chest pass, hit another woman in the head. Well, they are now filing a lawsuit. It took almost a year, but they have filed a lawsuit in Marion County against the Milwaukee Bucks, Patrick Beverly, and one of the assistant coaches of the Bucks, who they claim was kind of egging Pat Bev on. So
wow, wonder what took so long. This must have been in the works for a while. Maybe some negotiations back and forth, settlement offers. I mean, the NBA has endless coffers when it comes to legal, with a legal fund. Maybe trying to stall negotiations, whatever. And now it's come to this a year later. Over a year, under a year,
just under May 2nd of 2024. Okay. So that playoff series began late April, and the incident happened May 2nd. And this lawsuit claims that one woman suffered immediate pain and soreness after being hit by the ball.
You think?
And a medic had to be sent to her because her blood pressure was so out of control. The lawsuit also claims that the two women that were hit were placed in a false light and defamed after the incident due to Patrick Beverly of the Bucks making false claims about what led to it. So he basically tried to say they were saying racist stuff, but there were no witnesses anywhere near that could corroborate what Patrick Beverly said. Now, he's no longer on the Bucks. He plays overseas somewhere. He signed a big contract to play in like Israel or something. But it was Patrick Beverly that did this. Now, the women also claim they were basically perp walked out of the field house at the time. Now, the Pacers weren't named as a defendant at all, but these women are now seeking financial, payments because of the way they were treated and what happened that night.
And when you're saying perp walked, the way they were treated, you're saying that it was their fault. This was any NBA player throwing a basketball at a woman's face. I don't care what they're saying to you. I don't care what sort of hand motions they make to you. You don't do that.
Right.
Didn't we go through this? Haven't the Pacers been through this before a bit in the early 2000s?
Oh, they've been perp walked a few times back in the day. And there's a little incident where they kind of maybe got into the stands and punched the wrong guy.
Sure.
But this one...
I understand. I think I understand their frustration completely. I'd be very interested to see what happens to this.
Now, if I'm the Pacers, I'm saying, wait a minute, we offered you medical assistance. We made sure you were okay. But they said they were humiliated and embarrassed the way they were perp walked out, which, that got shared on social media. They claim they've missed work, and now they want a whole lot of money from the Milwaukee Bucks, Patrick Beverley, and the NBA. Look, you can like lawyers, you can hate lawyers, but if you get hit in the face when an NBA player intentionally chucks a ball in the stands...
On purpose? Sure.
Dollar bills, y'all. You're going to get paid. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Mark Dietl is the only local Indianapolis real estate expert I trust with the sale of my home, and I would trust Mark and his team to find me a new home as well. Look what happened with Crystal in Franklin. She was moving to Kentucky and needed to move fast. When she got the Mark Dietl marketing plan, she was blown away. The plan worked. Crystal got full list price in the first weekend. Just like that, Mark and his team got it done.
Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Dietl from the competition. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today. At least start a conversation. 317-755-4232 or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
Here's a real-life story that affects 50% of all of us out there. It's called divorce. If you've gotten divorced and now you're struggling to pay your bills and your credit card debts are completely out of control, you need to call this special debt relief hotline right now. We help people with all kinds of money problems caused by different life challenges, a divorce, a job loss, even heavy medical bills. All these life events can sometimes financially stress you out and cause you to get out of control. We help people get their lives back by showing them ways to consolidate and reduce their debt, in some cases for a fraction of what they owe. If your credit card balances are more than $10,000, call us and learn how to reduce your credit card bills and monthly payments now. Here's our number.
Paid for by Debt.com. Call now at 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. That's 800-810-1820.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to BathsRUs.com. 765-545-BATH.
Beds are us. When dreams don't get in, beds are us.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Arrested on drug charges. Partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the 50s on the circle. Your radar is clear, and you have a low of 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Illegal narcotics and drug paraphernalia were found inside of a Greenwood home this morning.
And the man inside that home was arrested. I'm John Herrick. He's been identified as Kenji Edison. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says this is not Edison's first run-in with law enforcement.
Just we've had other incidents where he's been arrested and brought to our jail.
on some criminal charges.
Edison is also accused of raping a woman at gunpoint in 2019. Burgess credits the community for calling in with tips about Edison's behavior. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The House has advanced a budget resolution that includes a lot of what President Donald Trump wants. House Minority Leader and Democrat Hakeem Jeffries believes it's only going to wreck Medicaid.
House Democrats are going to stand on the side of the American people and stand on the side of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the things that matter to the quality of life of the American people.
All Democrats in the House plus one Republican voted against it. It's not just the U.S., but France is also negotiating with Ukraine for access to the country's minerals. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
President Trump's been pushing for a critical mineral deal with Ukraine as he also pushes for an end to Russia's war in the country, a deal that gives American companies access to Ukraine's natural resources as a way to get paid back, but also as a signal that we remain invested in the country. He says Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky will sign a deal in Washington Friday. Ahead of that, the defense minister of France said they too are interested in critical minerals from Ukraine, not as a form of payback, but as something to purchase for their military needs moving forward. He says he's been speaking with Ukraine about this since October. French President Emmanuel Macron was in Washington, D.C. this week to meet with President Trump. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
United Auto Workers reached a deal Wednesday night with the Rolls-Royce plant in Indianapolis, which avoided a strike.
This decision is up to our members and our members alone. We raised the company match from 5% to 7%, while keeping the additional 3% company contribution.
UAW President Sean Fain said the new 5-year deal comes with significant pay raises. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Have you heard about Galaxy Concrete Coatings and their transformation? Your neighbor Bruce did.
Well, the project I was wanting to accomplish was my driveway. I wanted to see if I could get something that looked halfway decent, that would last a while. We also had a side patio surface redone.
Garage, basements, patios, sidewalks, driveways, Galaxy will transform your surface in as little as 1 day.
The crew was very, very good, excellent. The end result was just super. It is non-slippable surface. I get this if you want to make sure you're not going to have any people slipping or sliding when it rains.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The end result was just super. It was very easy to keep this surface clean. I had tire tracks all over it, and I just took out my hose, sprayed it down, and it looks just like new again.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. We are out of this world.
The traffic on the 5s, well, on the 4s, 334. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison South Side, westbound 465. After the White River, it is a vehicle fire blocking the right lane, causing a slowdown through there. Also crashed Lawrence 75th east of Oak Landon Road. Inbound 65, 9-minute delay running MLK to Meridian Pad and eastbound 70 grinding from Harding Street into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by B Window. This month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy today with winds gusting at 30 miles per hour. Some cloud cover at times with a spotty shower in eastern Indiana. Highs near 53. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Tons of big headlines in the news. One you're not seeing so often is the success that the Trump administration is having along the southern border and clamping down on illegal immigration. I wonder why that is, because that was a big campaign promise, Hammer, if you remember, during the Trump campaign. From what I understand, the numbers of illegal border crossers are plummeting. Here to explain it all and break it all down for us, Breitbart News immigration expert Neil Monroe here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. Mr. Monroe, generally speaking, has Donald Trump kept his promise about fixing the southern border?
Okay, out there you guys can be very cynical about the federal government. It seems unable to do anything. Right? They can't do anything well. in this government, on this issue, they have been absolutely successful. The number of migrants at the southern border is approximately zero.
Wow.
The number of migrants at the border we have now is about the number you'd expect on a Saturday night of people, drunks, wandering over the line by accident. It's dropped from a couple of thousand a day to essentially zero because Trump simply said, I'm going to use all the tools the government has. He calls up governments in the middle of Central America, Guatemala, Panama, for example, and says, can you stop the migrants? And they say, you're going to be nice to us? You're going to help us out? We'll make a deal. They stop the migrants. So now people can't get through those countries. He calls Mexico and says, you sell a pile of stuff into this country. It'd be a shame if something happened to the trucks and trains that were bringing the stuff across. And again, it stops. What that tells you is Washington was lying to your face for the last 4 years under Biden. They were saying it's a crisis. It's people fleeing terror and poverty. It was 4 years of consistent, in-your-face lying perpetuated by a crass, subordinate media. They lied to you, total lied. And now it's dropped to zero. Now, admittedly, there are 9 million people who crossed in the last 4 years. The vast majority of them want to work. They want to put their kids in your schools. They want to get their parents in your hospitals. They're not evil. They're not bad. They usually work very hard. But that's a lot of millions of people that distorts the economy. Those people have pushed down your wages. They pushed up your rents. They fill up schools. They take resources that would go to you and less lucky Americans. And so Trump is now trying to send some home. I don't believe he's going to try very hard. He's going to send home all the criminals he can find. Okay, anyone with a conviction, and that includes drunk driving, and there's a lot of drunk drivers in this group. Rapes, murders, they're all going home. He's going to send home the vast majority of people who have been ordered home by a judge. Because when people come over the border, they're automatically said, the ICE says, we're going to send you home. Then the migrants go to the judges, and the judges say, hang on, we'll listen. We'll decide what to do with you. Anyway, there's 1 million plus who've been told by judges to go home. They're going home. So let's say 2 million out of the 9 million are going home. Trump is under a lot of pressure from business guys to let the others stay. Now, that's not good. In fact, it's bad. But it's not as bad as under the Democrats. Who would have? The Democrats, I kid you not, they had plans, they had projects, they had programs in place that were designed to allow ordinary companies to hire people directly out of South America instead of Americans. Like, they were planning to replace you and yours. They were planning to hire someone from South America instead of the kid on your block. They were planning to import old people to do work instead of helping Americans get back into work. It's shocking how cruel and vicious the people in Biden's administration were. Now, we don't have to say Biden. Joe Biden didn't know what was going on.
Sure.
So Joe Biden sits in the White House, and all his foreign policy guys say, hey, let's go to war with Russia. That's why we have the Ukraine war. They were saying, hey, let's do something really wild on sex. Oh, that's why we have transgenderism everywhere. They were saying things like, oh, let's open the borders. That's why we had this. Joe Biden was not in charge. Everybody in Washington knew that too. And so all the arms of government, all the factions in the Democratic Party went hog wild to get what they could. It was you must have an image of some teenagers in their parents' house on a weekend ordering in beer and pizza. That's the kind of government you had.
They were playing government, Neil. That's what we've said for a long time. It wasn't anybody that had a legitimate idea to help America. These were people that were playing politicians.
They were grabbing what they could. They were drinking out of the parents' drinks cabinet. They were taking the car for donut spins. And all the time, Americans are saying, we need help, we need a decent government, and we need a proper society. And Biden's people didn't give a rat's ass. It's shocking, but under long-standing rules, you can't convict government officials for what they did on their government time. But like Mayorkas, he was the border guy, okay? He opens the borders, and in the process, he imports a bunch of murderers, and he also kills thousands of migrants.
Yes, that's
walking up from the south.
That's a huge point right there. I mean, there are Americans that should be alive today, if not for the fact that there are criminal, evil, murderous people that cross the border illegally. Yes. But there's also the aspect of human trafficking and sex trafficking as well.
They welcomed it. They removed the restrictions. They struck down the surveillance. They urged it. And so we have, if a liberal ever says to you, oh, you're a bigot, oh, you're a meanie, you could ask them, why did you double the death rate, at least, on the southern border? We're talking several thousand people died trying to reach the open border created by Mayorkas. He's the worst of the worst. And Biden. There's no reason in any way to be shy or embarrassed when people say, you support Trump, you meanie. No, under Biden, they are killing people in order to bring in cheap labor. It's so bad, okay? Under Biden, we pulled out, we gave visas. So a third of the policemen in Haiti came to America, a third of the teachers, a third of the medical workers. We were extracting anyone with a skill from Haiti so that Biden could claim the economy was bigger.
Right.
But when you hear of killings in these countries, it's Biden's fault. They did this in the name of immigration. They want to say the economy was bigger. So they pull out policemen and teachers and doctors from Haiti. These people were moral lunatics.
And Neil, how big of a part did the media play in the way people shaped their perspective on what was going on at the southern border? How big of a part did the media play in that?
Totally. So Americans want to be nice to immigrants. And they like the idea of migration. It's, five of the mouse coming to America, all these kind of stories they learn in grade school. But they worry about their own community. So when the media says, don't worry about your own community, worry about the chaos on the border, worry about all the people fleeing terrible stuff down south, Americans go, okay, you're going to do something about that? It's just moral blackmail, and it's driven mostly by reporters who are sociopaths in the sense that they want to empathize with foreigners, with little girls marching up from the south.
Of course.
Kids with puppy dog eyes, and these reporters want to be able to help them. Meanwhile, these reporters and the editors and their medias and their bosses turn their back on the roughly 10 million Americans who are not even working age men, okay, who are not in the workforce because they're on drugs, they're at home watching TV, they're just doing nothing. And our government did nothing to help these 5 to 10 million Americans get jobs. Instead, our government wrote checks to help migrants fill those jobs instead of Americans, to fill those jobs all over the country, in Pennsylvania, in Ohio, in California, in Maine.
One more thing before we let you go. We're speaking with Breitbart News immigration expert Neil Monroe. Donald Trump, the success he's had with squashing the illegal border crossers. What do you think? And sometimes Trump likes to, I don't want to say spout off. Well, okay, I'll say spout off. But I hear he said something the other day about the $5 million gold card for foreigners to buy citizenship. Does that do anything for you before we let you go here, Neil?
Not really. Not really, because if you're a foreigner, you can buy these green cards from Malta or Portugal for a lot less than $5 million. You can do an EB-5 visa to get a green card in America by lending $1 million to someone who promises to create jobs. So it's very easy to buy green cards and citizenship in the United States. And Trump is right. Like Trump says, we should sell these for $5 million. That's how much your citizenship is worth. Every American on this call, your citizenship is worth at least $5 million. So then the question is, why does the government give it away for free to 1 million legal immigrants a year? I mean, we actually do this. We give these things away.
Well, if you listen to Representative Jayapal yesterday or the day before out of Washington, she would say, they're deporting all the people that are picking our food. Another.
She is among the worst.
Just the most racist tropes concerning illegal immigration there are.
I constantly write about her and other Democrats where they just insult Americans by saying, look, migrants are better than your kids. Your kids are so yesterday. They can't do computers. They can't pick grapes. So we're going to fill up the country with migrants. No. She's a repulsive creature. And to be on the record, I said repulsive. She is a fanatically pro-foreigner politician, and there's a bunch of them in Congress, which I'll write about eventually. But she'll always say more migrants because she prefers migrants. And by the way, there's a sort of rational reason for it. She is Indian. She knows how life is terrible in India, how people treat each other badly, the sewage, the jobs. If you come from India and you become a legislator in America, it is perfectly understandable for her to want more Indians to come here out of their terrible, terrible country and come live here. But that's not the job of an American legislator. An American legislator help Americans.
Neil, we got to leave it there. I mean, excellent stuff. Great reporting at Breitbart.com. That is Neil Monroe, immigration expert, Breitbart News. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll get an update for you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Traffic is unpredictable. The markets are unpredictable. How do you find any sense of security, especially when it comes to your financial portfolio, like right now with the rapidly changing fiscal policy? Matt Bear here. Hello. Let Trajan Wealth help you with that peace of mind with a financial plan customized to your goals. Call and schedule an introduction and meet the team at 317-480-4040. Or visit TrajanWealth.com. The first consultation is free. Trajan Wealth works with you in optimizing your investments. They're always monitoring the markets and evaluating the financial landscape for you. And as an independent firm, they can customize your financial portfolio without any restrictions on the products they can offer. Schedule your first appointment at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local, well-trained expert you can trust like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? We'll find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Go now to bwindow.com and receive $400 off per window and $250 off any patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing.
All right, Matt Bear, what are we looking at?
Eastbound 72 downtown stop and go traffic Belmont to the south split, just a 4-minute delay. 5-minute delay coming in on inbound 65 from MLK to Meridian Penn. And southside westbound 465 after the White River. That's a vehicle fire blocking the right lane. A little bit of a slowdown, no delay there. Traffic sponsored by B Window this month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Again, waiting for some information in regards to the Jeffrey Epstein list, the Jeffrey Epstein files.
Whatever.
If you're getting your hopes up that you're going to see so-and-so went to the island and had, relations with all of these people, you ain't getting that. I'm just telling you right now, you're not getting that.
Headline from the New York Post. Here's what's on the Jeffrey Epstein list that the Trump DOJ is set to release. The Justice Department is preparing to release notorious sex trafficker Epstein's personal address book. The New York Post has learned. The source has reviewed the files, said the release spans more than 100 pages, including a list of contacts. The person said the unveiling was likely to be a disappointment.
It always is, right?
Yeah, for people looking for bombshells.
Anytime there's some sort of high-profile memo or email or file list, remember Devin Nunes, release the memo, and the memo turned out to be kind of a turd. It's like this all the time.
Remember Rachel Maddow and Trump's taxes.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Trump taxes. We got them. We got them right here. It was like a 1042 from 93.
And a cover sheet from where he faxed it once. We got him. Here it is. You knew this would happen, though. And in regards to a contact list, there's a lot of people in my phone that I have in my contact list that I am not friends with, per se. Like, I've got Jake Query's name in my phone. Not once have I ever called Jake Query and said, hey, let's go hang out together. Let's go have a beer.
Yeah, but you are friends with Jake, though.
True, but I'm just saying, just because somebody's name is in there, that doesn't mean they were on an island having sex with children.
Right.
Because that's what we're talking about here with the Jeffrey Epstein list. Like,
now you're making me look through my contact list.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through and see some people in here. Abdul. Like, I don't call Abdul and hang out, but I've got Abdul's name in my contact.
I've got, who's in my contact list? Tucker Carlson's son.
Oh, I just found Steve Alford.
Oh, that's cool.
I got Steve.
Contact list. I haven't hung out with Chick for a while.
I got so-and-so at Brad's Brass Flamingo. Didn't want to say his name. So we're waiting for information. We'll keep you up to date. Senator Jim Banks next.
Did you miss the Sullivan Hardware and Garden patio furniture sale last weekend? Well, you didn't miss it all. Due to tremendous response, we've held over the best pricing of the season on premium patio furniture. Hi, Pat Sullivan here. Have you seen all the patio furniture at Sullivan Hardware and Garden? Teak, cast aluminum, all-weather wicker, Berlin garden poly furniture, and much more. Many customers ask me, why is our patio furniture different? Well, we specialize in excellent quality, mid-price patio furniture that's in stock at our 17,000 square foot warehouse. And again, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, patio furniture already pre-season priced at 30% off is an additional 20% off. You can even order your own custom cushions at no extra charge. Come see for yourself. Once again, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, patio furniture already pre-season priced at 30% off is an additional 20% off. Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, and in Cicero. Online at sullivanhardware.com.
When you're running a small business, every dollar counts. And there's lots of ways you could try saving money, like, say, subletting half your office to an exotic pet shop, or downsizing your fleet of catering trucks to a fleet of catering scooters. Or you could try a smarter way to save. Switch to Comcast Business Mobile. It could save you up to 70% on business wireless compared to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and save you the hassle of having a parrot as your desk mate. So don't compromise your business to save money. Keep it growing with Comcast Business Mobile, an incredible value and smarter way to save. Comcast Business Mobile, powering smarter savings, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Compares weighted average of providers based on optimized pricing. Comcast Business Internet required. Reduced speeds after data usage included with plan. Savings may vary.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry exes, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Go now to bwindow.com and receive $400 off per window and $250 off any patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a man was arrested at his home in Greenwood on drug-related charges. Rolls-Royce workers in Indianapolis aren't going to go on strike after threatening to. And temperatures are supposed to fluctuate as you head into the weekend. A tough forecast to predict, apparently. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A peace that lasts. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what President Trump and Britain's Prime Minister both say they want between Russia and Ukraine, holding a joint news conference at the White House after an Oval Office meeting.
President Trump says he's known Russian President Vladimir Putin for a long time and believes he'll keep his word if a deal is made to end Russia's invasion.
We had to go through the Russian hoax together. That was not a good thing. It's not fair. That was a rigged deal.
The president made the comment sitting alongside British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who is the second European leader to visit the White House this week, with the Ukraine war a central focus.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where tomorrow Ukraine's president is expected to sign an economic deal with the U.S. A mixture of mourning and questions after two-time Oscar winner Gene Hackman was found dead along with his wife and one of the couple's dogs in their New Mexico home yesterday. Sheriff's officials say there were no obvious signs of foul play, but they're not ruling it out. Hackman's body was found in a mudroom, his wife in a bathroom with prescription pills scattered nearby.
We also understand that the bodies were found ultimately, first of all, a pest control worker trying to get into their house, and then he called security workers. They said they hadn't seen the couple for a couple of weeks. So the bodies also were largely mummified, apparently.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt. Gene Hackman was 95 and an iconic actor.
Hackman, a former Marine, appeared in more than 80 films during his more than 60-year career, winning Oscars for his roles in The French Connection and Unforgiven.
All right, gentlemen. He's got one barrel left. When he fires that, take out your pistols
and shoot him down like the mangy scoundrel he is.
He made his final films, including the Royal Tenenbaums in the early 2000s, then wrote novels at his Santa Fe ranch.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The Dow down 193 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He has a history. 54 degrees and mostly cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. There's nothing for you to worry about on the radar. You'll have a low of around 34 degrees tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A man with a criminal past was arrested this morning in Greenwood. Tips started coming in about what neighbors called illegal activity that was going on at a home along Morgantown Road.
I actually, as the sheriff, received that tip, give that to my narcotics guys. It's probably been 6 or 7 months ago.
Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says after they got the search warrant, they got into the home and found coke, weed, and other drug paraphernalia. They then arrested Kenji Edison on several drug charges. Edison's also accused of raping a woman at gunpoint back in 2019. Rolls-Royce workers in Indianapolis won't be hitting the picket lines. United Auto Workers members announced Wednesday night that they'd reached a tentative deal with the company just before the contract deadline.
While the bargaining team behind me are extremely proud of this tentative agreement and all the work that it took to win it, we know that ultimately this decision is up to our members and our members alone.
UAW President Shawn Fain confirmed the deal just after 10:30 last night, saying the 5-year agreement comes with big pay raises for workers. Basketball fans will enjoy a fresh blend of comedy and entertainment through a new partnership. Ryan Hedrick tells you about it.
Joey Graziano with Pacer Sports and Entertainment says the organization is teaming up with Heartbeat. It's a global entertainment brand owned by comedian Kevin Hart. Graziano says the goal is to bring fans something fresh and exciting.
We know we're going to lean into music and have music festivals. We've got incredible assets here like Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but also throughout this city.
And the partnership starts during WNBA All-Star Weekend in July. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Temperatures are only supposed to go up and down over the next few days. Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says your forecast is a bit unpredictable heading into next month.
So that's why we get this roller coaster of temperatures. You know, when a system is approaching us, we get warmer air that pushes northward. We warm up, and then as the system starts to move out, the cold air that's behind the system pushes in, and then we get colder. So that's why you see the roller coaster in temperatures.
Mello says it's also going to stay windy through the end of the week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison Southside. Vehicle fire cleanup continues westbound 465 after the White River. The right lane is closed. No delay, a bit of a slowdown there. Inbound 65 stop and go from 29th to Meridian Penn for a 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows from Belmont to the South Split. North side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. It matters who does your taxes. One to expert tax prep. Jackson Hewitt will give you $100 to switch. Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy today with winds gusting at 30 miles per hour. Some cloud cover at times with a spotty shower in eastern Indiana. Highs near 53. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Go straight to the hotline and bring on Senator Jim Banks. Senator Hammer and I were having, I don't know if it was a debate, just kind of a discussion, the segment before here, of the most famous contacts we have in our cell phone. And then we started to get into a debate on whether or not you have Donald Trump's personal contact info in your cell phone. Could you text Donald Trump right now if you wanted?
Oh boy, you're putting me on the spot.
I can't. Oh, I can't. You're not allowed to answer.
I'm bragging when let me tell you this about Donald Trump. He's been a big supporter of mine, as you know.
Yes.
I don't call him. Some of my colleagues call him frequently. I don't call him a lot, but I have never called him when he didn't pick up the phone to talk to me.
Wow.
And I know that's a typical story among. It's not me. It's not just me, but he is. I'm sure that President Obama, of course, President Biden didn't know who he was talking to when they called him. But Obama, Bush, Clinton, I mean, these other presidents, they didn't operate this way. President Trump brings us in on it. He constantly calls us to check in, and it's good for me to check in with him. He's constantly inviting us to the White House. Almost every senator and congressman on the Republican side in the first term flew on Air Force One or rode with him in a limo. He's I guess all that to say, he's very accessible, especially to members of Congress when we have an issue or want to talk to him about what's going on, and he'll take our call. So to answer your question, yes.
But if he's at the Super Bowl or at the Daytona
UFC.
500 or at the UFC fight, could you just text him, dude, did you see that?
You see John Bones Jones? Look at that hit, Trump.
Like, it's not that type of relationship. Does he, get those types of texts?
It makes me sound like I'm bragging when I talk about this, but he loves it. He loves hearing from us. He loves talking to us.
Well, that's good.
And Senator, we like
and he never stops. He's always like middle of the night. I mean, you hear from him sometimes on times that you wouldn't expect to hear from him.
And this is why we like having you on, is because we're going to get to all the stuff. We're going to all the news of the day, but I'd like the behind the scenes stuff with some of the big time players in Washington, some of the most powerful men, just behind the scenes. This is why kind of like we like having you on every couple of weeks.
Well, let me tell you, when I hear from the president the most is when he sees me on TV. So if I'm on TV defending him, defending the administration, defending the important work that we're doing.
Yep.
I mean, he's the first one to reach out to say thank you and to check in.
Excellent. All right, let's dive into a couple things here. You spoke at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference last week, and one of the topics were wimpy Republicans. Now, that's something we're kind of dealing with here in Indiana, Senator, when it comes to property tax reform. All these, quote, Republicans that ran on helping Hoosiers all of a sudden are not doing that. Take me through what your definition of wimpy Republicans means.
Well, it's no time to back down. It's time to we won a historic mandate in this national election. President Trump won the popular vote. He won more electoral votes than any president in decades on the Republican side, and that's the point. President Trump tells us this all the time. Like, never back down to the other side. We won, they lost. Our policies are what the voters expect us to fight for, and that's my point. I mean, this is a new Republican Party. When I first got to Congress in 2017, you had Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and the Jeff Flakes and all of these squishier Republicans who didn't fight back against the Democrats. And guess what happened? 2 years later, we lost the majority because the voters said, we elected you to fight back and save the country. You didn't do that, and that's when you lose the majority. So this is no time for wimpy Republicans. And President Trump, all of these executive orders, getting wokeness out of the military, out of all of our institutions, securing the border, the economy. I mean, look at what President Trump is doing with tariffs, and I mean that's to me that's the ultimate example of a president who's pushing the limit with tariffs and other measures to tell the rest of the world we're not going to let you take advantage of us anymore. And Republicans should be out there defending. And that's what happened 8 years ago. We can't repeat that.
Chatting with Senator Jim Banks with us.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Hammer. Donald Trump's biggest accomplishment so far. I mean, he's only been in office, for a month. I'll tell you what I think it is, and then you tell me if I'm wrong. I think Donald Trump's biggest accomplishment so far, besides getting his cabinet in order within a month, the southern border. We just had somebody on, an expert on the southern border, that said the illegal crossings are virtually non-existent. Is that maybe one of Donald Trump's biggest accomplishments so far in his first month in his second term in office?
He wouldn't put it that way because he knows that we have a lot more work to do. But just by reinstituting those Trump policies from the first term, the getting rid of catch and release and the remain in Mexico policy, just merely with the stroke of a pen, putting that policy back in place has halted a substantial amount of the illegal crossings. Let me tell you what President Trump's top priority is right now, and that's funding this through these reconciliation bills that are moving through, funding the ICE effort to go out and deport illegal criminals all over our country. We're about Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and Tom Homan, the director of ICE, are telling us we're about 4 or 5 weeks here from them running out of money and them not being able to keep doing it. So if we can pass these reconciliation budget bills and fund these efforts, that securing our border will be the president's top accomplishment. It was last time, it's going to be this time, and making our country safe again from the influx of illegals over the past 4 years. That will end up being his top among many, his top accomplishment.
And that's something that we can see the benefits of here in Indiana. I know you put on social media recently that criminal aliens cost the state of Indiana $921 million in 2023. Our state had an illegal population of 120,000 in 2022. What's being done to eliminate some of these big, gaudy numbers here in Indiana?
Yeah, think about that. Think of all the schools you could build, the roads you could build in Indiana, and instead the drain on public services of illegals that the Biden administration allowed to invade this country and come to places like Indiana, communities all over the state, Indianapolis, the gangs in Indiana, the Mexican drug cartel gangs in Indianapolis and elsewhere. This is a big drain on our public resources, and President Trump putting Remain in Mexico back in place, halting the influx, but also the deportation effort is going to save taxpayers in Indiana a lot of money.
Chatting with Indiana Senator Jim Banks. One more thing here, Senator, before we let you go. Speaking of bills, I know you were working on a bill to defund NPR, which has just basically become a liberal mouthpiece for Democrats in this country, despite the fact they get taxpayer dollars. Where are we at with that?
I introduced the bill yesterday. I introduced it in the House before I got to the Senate, and picking up co-sponsors and support. At the end of the day, NPR receives about $100 million. Again, this is insanity. $100 million that goes to a left-wing media outlet. Think about that. If $100 million was going to fund WIBC, liberal taxpayers around the state and conservative taxpayers would say there's something wrong with that. But $100 million going to fund NPR. You turn on NPR and you immediately know that they're biased. But don't just take my word for it. An editorial editor at NPR, a senior editor at NPR wrote last year that they had 87 registered Democrats on their editorial staff and 0 Republicans. The bias is obvious if you listen to it, but that's NPR, a senior person, editor at NPR himself, saying that 87 registered Democrats on the editorial staff and 0 Republicans. Why would our taxpayer dollars ever be going to fund something like that? DOJ is taking a look at it, but I introduced a bill to block that money, and I think we have a good chance here in these reconciliation bills to block that kind of insanity from continuing into the future.
It is amazing how much money goes into left-leaning causes or people that work at universities, very left-leaning, super progressive professors at these colleges. I think I saw you going back and forth with Mike Hicks of Ball State recently. There is so much money that goes into that, and I'm glad that we have a thing like Doge that can bring at least some attention to how our money is being spent.
Yeah, we ought to talk about this Hicks guy sometime. I mean, this guy writes. He's a full-time left-wing political hack that Ball State pays well over $200,000 a year to pay him. Everything that he writes, whether it's on Twitter or when he writes on the left-wing editorial page of the Indianapolis Star, his byline is that he's a professor at Ball State University. So that's another great example of how your tax dollars at work, and that's a state issue. And I know some of the state legislators, J.D. Prescott and others, are looking at why a taxpayer-funded public university would pay for a guy like that. But whether it's NPR or Mike Hicks at Ball State, your taxpayer dollars should never go to fund political propaganda, but that's what's happening here.
Well, Senator, keep fighting the good fight for us here in Indiana, and we'll talk to you again here in a couple weeks.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Senator Jim Banks right there from the great state of Indiana.
He can totally text Trump whenever he wants. He didn't want to brag about it.
Right.
I felt like that.
Right.
He's got him on.
And I got the feeling he kind of wanted to go a little bit more on Mike Hicks, too. Just got that feeling. I don't know. Matt Bear, what's up?
Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, 29th to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slows from Harding into the south split south side. Eastbound 465 stop-and-go after 31 over to Emerson Avenue. 11-minute delay there. Eastbound 465 on the north side. Stop-and-go traffic from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. And a crash on the east side. 30th Street East, 30th Street at Shadeland Avenue. Traffic sponsored by True Green. True Green, get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRU green.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit later on, 5:33, Rob Kendall, in addition to his normal off the rails, he's going to break down this big property tax rally that he's got lined up.
Cool.
So that's coming up 5:33 this afternoon when he goes off the rails. Right now, sunshine 55 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
The new year means new deals at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. This is where you get your next Ford car, truck, SUV, EV, or fleet vehicle. Elevate your journey right now with the new 2024 Ford Expedition Platinums. Save over $15,000 off MSRP. Equipped with a high-output 3.5-liter EcoBoost, it delivers up to 400 horsepower for commanding performance. And with the premium leather-trimmed interior and wood accents, you're sure to enjoy your time on the road. Need something a little smaller but still enough room? Check out the new 2024 Ford Edge SE. Save over $6,500 off MSRP. You got to check out everything going on at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield. Get more to your door. Simply purchase your vehicle online and they'll deliver it directly to you. Visit the showroom, 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R.
I love Andy.
andymoreford.com.
Come on, Andy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Group can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Window Nation. 50% off all style of windows. Don't pay anything for 5 years. This deal won't last long. In fact, I think you got like another day and that's it. Call 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Dateline Memphis. Police in Memphis are looking for a man with an axe who was caught on camera damaging a 76-year-old man's SUV after a little fender bender. Sounds like it might have been some road rage. Here's the victim explaining what happened.
I thought, okay, I'll get over in this lane, the turn lane. I suppose I miscalculated. He started towards us, and I said, what's that in his hand? And we couldn't figure it out until he took a large swing at the back window. I'm just thankful he didn't come up to the window, because he'd have got through the window. There was my head. I was more in shock. It did not occur to me to drive away.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. That last part he said, just hit the gas, bud. Get the hell out of there.
Right.
I don't care if you have to run his ass over or not. Get him the hell, get out of there.
Eliminate the threat and get out of there.
God, I remember being a kid and watching, I think it was the Amityville Horror. And I don't know if it was a dream sequence or what happened. I mean, like the original one, like in the 70s with Brolin as the star. There's this scene where he splits this person's head open with an axe and just there's blood it's stuck with me. Again, I used to be that kid that went over to my dad's house and I'd on the weekends because there was a divorce and I'd watch what he wanted to watch. So I had to sit there and watch the Amityville Horror from 1979.
And how old were you?
This mass murder movie. In 79, I was 4 or 5 years old. There's this scene where Brolin just eliminates this woman's head right in half and blood everywhere. That's where my head goes sometimes with these stories. I don't, I'm glad the guy's okay and he's in his mid-70s and I hope they get the guy that was, attacking him with an axe. But good God, what was my dad thinking?
Okay, so.
I love my dad, though. Don't get me wrong.
Based on what you just told us.
Yes.
Let's play a game. Name this horrific axe scene in a movie, okay?
Oh, no. Did I just ruin it?
No, but I think you'll be able to get it. Name this famous axe scene.
Here's Johnny.
Jack Nicholson.
Name of the movie?
The Shining.
Yeah,
The Shining.
there it is.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, but that's not the first thing that came to my mind when I'm thinking of horror movies involving an axe. Maybe I've got the scene wrong and I'm looking for it on YouTube right now because I want to be traumatized by it again, I guess. But he
you want to relive your childhood by looking for an axe attack.
Oh, gosh. That's a real story.
If you ever wondered why Nige turned out the way that he did,
it's because
the origin story is wild.
Oh, man.
Is this anything? A guy from Nebraska got his high school class ring back 44 years after it went missing in 1981. Some dude 70 miles away in Rockport, Missouri, found it in the dirt when he was working in his garden. Here's the man who lost the ring, Carrie, and the guy who found it. His name is Neil.
I don't want a reward. I just want the satisfaction of knowing where he lost it and to giving him the ring back.
Yeah, that's my ring. I have no clue on how it got away from me, whether I lost it or misplaced it or someone stole it. I don't know. I know I didn't drop it in your garden because I've never been to that location before.
And I kindly assumed it come in a potted plant.
So potted plants and all that for many years. And I would come down there from time to time and work, so I don't know. That could be a possibility.
It sounds like Carrie and Neil aren't too sure of each other and how the disappearance of this mysterious class ring happened. I don't know about that. I guess I carried potted plants. I'm not sure. I'm not saying you did or didn't, but again, with these things, when you find, like, you lost your wedding ring in the front yard of your house. Say someday you sell the house, you move somewhere else, and somebody finds that ring. Are you going to be like ecstatic and emotional if this person tracks you down and finds the ring? Because that's fine if you are, but if I find the ring, I'm not putting that much work into it.
And I've already got a replacement. I'm fine. To be honest with you, I've already got a replacement.
Okay.
I'm good. Now, what's it called when like these two guys here, when there are two people, I guess it could be three, and nobody really trusts one another? It's called something. There was a Big Bang Theory episode about this. It's the one that Rappaport was in. I think it's called a Mexican standoff, where all three people have some sort of
pointing their guns at each other.
Right. And like there's not many outcomes that could happen that's good.
Right.
It kind of feels like that's what the deal is here. Let me type this in. Okay, according to AI on Google, a Mexican standoff is a violent confrontation between two or more parties where nobody can win. Okay, so
this may be what that is.
That may be a Mexican standoff. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An arrest made in Johnson County. 54 degrees and cloudy downtown. There's nothing to worry about on your radar, and you'll have a low around 34 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 431. A man named Kenji Edison was arrested Thursday morning at a home in Greenwood along Morgantown Road. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says Edison had lots of drugs on him, and law-abiding citizens had been letting police know about it with calls to tip lines.
Whenever we do get those, I make sure that the guys are on top of their game, which they do a tremendous job as we work with the Greenwood and the Franklin Police Department to go out and investigate those tips, their tips, or any other agency's tips to see what we can do to keep Johnson County citizens safe.
Edison had been arrested several times before. Police believe he raped a woman at gunpoint back in 2019. President Donald Trump says he doesn't think Vladimir Putin will invade Ukraine again once a ceasefire deal is finalized.
Well, we have a deal. It's going to be the deal. I don't think if I didn't win the election, I don't think we'd be even talking to Putin right now or anybody else.
Trump's hosting the UK's prime minister at the White House today to talk about providing help for Ukraine. And a man's now facing a couple of charges after he attacked a teenager on the west side of Indianapolis. Here's Jake McDaniel.
Surveillance video was shown to police where Jason Harrell went to the teenager and yelled at him while he was just riding his motorbike. What you're hearing is Harold demanding the teenager to get out of the road and threatening to kill him and his family. Harold is charged with battery and intimidation after attacking the teenager. It happened on Aberdeen Drive, which is near Rockville Road and South High School Road. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
United Auto Workers reached a deal Wednesday night with the Rolls-Royce plants here in Indianapolis to avoid a strike.
This decision is up to our members and our members alone. We raised the company match from 5% to 7% while keeping the additional 3% company contribution.
UAW President Shawn Fain said the new 5-year deal comes with significant pay raises. And a tough day on the market. The Dow in the red by 193 points to close at 43,239. The NASDAQ fell by 530 to close at 18,544. The S&P 500 also down by 94 to close at 5,861. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:33.
If you need to sell your home, if you need to buy a new home, if you need to do both, the only local real estate expert I would trust is Mark Deedle. Here's what Greg in Franklin had to say. My tenant moved out of my investment property and I was ready to sell. I heard about Mark on the radio and everything they say is true. In 15 days on the market, I had a cash offer I wanted on the property. Selling with Mark Deedle was fast, easy, and profitable.
Mark Deedle is the best in the business because of the guarantee. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Deedle from the competition. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Deedle today. At least start a conversation. 317-755-4232 or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
The traffic at 4:34. Here's Matt Baer.
Yeah, Harrison, Hamilton County, southbound 69, stop and go Campus Parkway to Brook School Road. Inbound 65 to downtown Indianapolis, stop and go traffic 29th to Meridian Penn, 6-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Belmont to the South Split. A crash New York Street at Capitol Avenue downtown, and then one on the east side, 30th Street at Shadeland Avenue. South side pockets of slow eastbound 465 from I-69 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by B Window this month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Breezy today with winds gusting at 30 miles per hour. Some cloud cover at times with a spotty shower in eastern Indiana. Highs near 53. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I guess we're kind of just keeping an eye on this whole Jeffrey Epstein list, the pervert billionaire that had Pedo Island. He would fly his most, richest friends out to this island and had cameras all over the place and young girls, and just awful things took place there. Eventually arrested the guy, sex trafficking, died in prison under mysterious circumstances. I think the security guards there, that prison in New York, was it Rikers Island? I'm not sure. Like, they fell asleep and then the cameras stopped working.
Hell of a coincidence, Nige. Hell of a coincidence.
The only thing you saw was like the cameras turned right back on, just as like someone with a pantsuit was walking out of the prison cell.
I don't know if that's the case or not, but.
But the Attorney General Pam Bondi was supposed to release. So yeah, we got the Epstein list. We got everybody. We got the client list, because everybody, the victims are out there. The Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's pimp, who would befriend these young girls and fly them out there. She flew the helicopters out there to Epstein's pervert island. Everybody. I don't know. Nobody's been answered for this. There's nobody been held accountable for this. And if you are held accountable,
Ghislaine Maxwell's been held accountable.
She has, but nobody that actually performed these lewd acts with these girls whose identities they need to protect. First of all, there's not been an answer.
Who is Ghislaine Maxwell charged for? Sex trafficking, right? So who are the people that she is locked up for allowing this to happen? There's a list, but the list was sealed up by the prosecution. Now, it's important to point out, when Ghislaine Maxwell had her trial, the prosecutor who wanted the list sealed for some reason happened to be the daughter of former FBI director Lincoln Lyon James Comey. Yeah. It was Comey's daughter. Now, think about this. You don't have to be like Matlock to have questions here, but why would the prosecution, not the defense, the prosecution want that list sealed up? Anybody else that's a prosecutor would be like, put it out there. Let's see who the victims are. Maybe we can offer them some help. Let's find out who these perverts were that were going to the island. But that didn't happen here because Lincoln Lyon James Comey's daughter sealed up the list. And Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail, rightfully so, but for trafficking what? For trafficking who?
But so Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, Trump's Attorney General, goes on Jesse Waters last night and says, yeah, look, we're going to get everything for you tomorrow. We've got this list. And here's the headline out of the New York Post. Here's what's on Jeffrey Epstein's list the DOJ is releasing later today. It's basically his personal address book. A source who has reviewed the files said the release spans more than 100 pages, including a list of contacts without further context. So, I mean, go through your list of contacts on your cell phone, Hammer, and like half of these people, I guarantee on mine, I don't even talk to. I don't know who they are.
Right.
And so
I haven't spoken to former Fox 59 reporter Ginny Anchondo in 5 years.
According to the New York Post, the person said the unveiling
this person's dead.
This was likely.
A couple people I worked with at the casino on here, dead.
Anyway, the person, according to the New York Post, who's familiar with the release of these documents, said the Epstein personal address book is likely to be a disappointment to sleuths eager for bombshells.
We told you this would happen.
Oh, I know it.
It's like this every time. There was no way you were going to wake up today and hear this actor had sex with children on this date at Epstein Island.
Yeah.
You weren't going to get that. And if you thought that, I don't know what to tell you.
Thing is, I believe it happened, though.
Yes, you're right.
I believe there's names on a list that we would recognize and should be in jail. And I think that's why everybody's so worked up about this, is because everyone is so rich and so corrupt. And so, I mean, remember Epstein's, his apartment in New York, and that picture of Bill Clinton he had painted wearing Monica Lewinsky's dress?
The infamous stained dress, right?
Stained dress.
Right.
Stained.
And a lot of people thought that was some sort of message being sent to Bill. Like, hey, I've got dirt on you. Don't even think about trying to investigate me. That picture was kind of the message. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's one of the theories that we heard. But all I'm saying is between Pam Bondi being like, oh, yeah, we're going to put this stuff out there, and Kash Patel previously, he's now in charge of the FBI. Oh, yeah, day one, Epstein list. Let's go. All right, why don't you guys get together and do this thing? Put it out there. And it shouldn't matter. If it's Democrats on there, that's disgusting. If it's Republicans on there, that's disgusting. Lock everybody up that had sex with a child or tried to have sex with a child or trafficked individual on that island.
My buddy Dave is texting me right now. He's like, it's like Al Capone's vault all over again.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great analogy. They hyped this thing up. Geraldo Rivera has a primetime special, and they found a beer bottle. And that was it.
For the longest time, I thought it was a half-eaten ham sandwich. I don't know why I thought that in Capone's vault.
Capone would have ate the whole thing. There's no way he would have just had half and put it down. Capone was a big boy.
I've got Ed Wank's number in my phone.
He loves me. Loves this show.
I'm just going through my list of contacts. So they release a list of contacts on Epstein's phone book or whatever. It's like you could be like, I've never talked to this guy in my life. Half of the people in my contacts list, I don't know who they are or I've never heard. Like I have Angela Gnot's contact info. I never talked to her in my life.
But maybe you had that to get her to come on the show or something, because that's where I've got Steve Alford's number. I'm not calling Steve Alford to go hang out in Reno to watch a basketball game, but we've had him on the show a couple times.
But that's the whole point, is Epstein's personal address book.
Right.
It's the same idea. I didn't even know I was in Epstein. I had never talked to this guy. I had a business dealing with him once or something. And
Ron Artest.
You got Ron Artest's number?
I got Ron Artest.
Call it right now.
No. It'd be safer to go on Epstein's list and tick off Ron Artest. Are you kidding me? That is like one of the few dudes you don't want to tick off. Marvin Harrison and Ron Artest. He'll show up in the middle of the night at my house like Beetlejuice, I'm sorry, and just, beat the hell out of me. No, thank you.
All right.
Not doing that.
That would be a great bit. We need to get some booze. Maybe we can do that tomorrow at our bowling event. And get a few shots of Jack in you, since they're our sponsor.
Jack Daniels, yeah.
And we'll call Ron Artest from your phone, put it on speaker, and put it live on the air.
And again, if I'm not back on Monday, just know that I did not kill myself. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
So what's in the bag today? Yesterday's leftovers? Another lunch meat sandwich? Well, go ahead and pull up a rock and settle in for a half hour of I wish I was eating something else. Or you could be eating something else, or someplace else. If you're brown bagging it at the corner of 30th and Shadeland area, drop over to His Place Eatery for 30 minutes of, why didn't I know about this place sooner? Nothing fancy, not a lot of frills. They save that for the quality of the meal. Like ribs that fall off the bone, southern fried chicken, sides that will cause your taste buds to thank you into tomorrow. Put that in your brown bag and eat it. Better yet, bank the bag. Go to His Place Eatery at the corner of 30th and Shadeland, or the newest location off 86th and Ditch Road. Your dirty boots and work clothes are welcome here. His Place, your place for lunch. Go to hisplaceeatery.com to learn more.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My brother never checks on Dad. Or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Go now to bwindow.com and receive $400 off per window and $250 off any patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. Seeing a couple things online right now that the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is saying that the FBI did not hand over all of the documents, and she's pretty upset, and she's demanding that Kash Patel get things right over there and send those documents over by the morning.
You talking about Epstein documents?
Documents.
Already dissension within the ranks here, or what?
I don't know if Bondi's upset at Kash Patel or if Kash Patel thought that all the files will set over. I don't know. This whole thing is going to be underwhelming, but now it's a mess, too. So that's what we're reading. Okay, sorry to make you wait. Matt Bear, what's going on?
East side crash northbound 465 before Penn Pike. It's on the right shoulder. Multiple vehicles, no delay yet. Slow down back to I-70. Crash on the east side 30th at Shadewood Avenue. Crash in Fishers 116th Street at Cumberland Road, reported with injury and entrapment. Crash downtown New York Street at Capitol Avenue. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic from the White River Bridge to Meridian Penn, 10-minute delay. And eastbound 70 on a 10-minute delay from Belmont to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by B Window this month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I love our listeners, man. Tinfoil Hat here on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel, wasting and renewing tweets. Bros, don't be hoodwinked. Epstein is still alive. Tinfoil Hat, here we go.
Okay.
Right now, partly sunny, 53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, went on with Ryan Braun of the Milwaukee Brewers on his program on MSNBC.
So the election denier went on with Ryan Braun.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Rachel Maddow.
Oh.
Rachel Maddow.
Oh, okay.
They look just alike. I got them confused. So Jeffries went on with Maddow, and they claim that battling Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Doge is just like what happened in the Civil War.
Oh.
You understand the scale of the threat, and you have ideas about how to interrupt what feels like something that we have not experienced since the Civil War in terms of the threat to our republic.
Well, it's certainly the case that we understand the scale of the threat. That can't be doubted. The CBC, which I'm a part of, definitively understands the scale of the threat. Our communities have been under siege, as you pointed out, since before the Civil War.
Oh, God.
I'm a direct descendant of those very communities. So we understand the struggle, the history, the strength of people like John Lewis, which we're going to channel. That's my experience. That's my personal experience. That's my family's experience. And so we understand that. And as a caucus, it's definitively the case that we understand it.
I wasn't even listening to what he was saying. I was like, it's 2025. 800,000 people died in the Civil War, okay?
But Elon Musk is trying to save you money. It's the same thing, Nige. It's the same thing, according to Hakeem Jeffries and Ryan Braun.
Just a side note, by the way, Rachel Maddow, after going on her own network and calling her bosses racist for firing Joy Reid, her bosses returned the favor and basically fired her entire staff.
But she gets to stay, and she makes the most money.
Yeah. $30 million for like 1 or 2 nights a week. Not a bad gig.
Comparing Elon Musk trying to find corruption to the Civil War. This is what the Democrats do, though. And this brings us to great moments in Democrats comparing things to much larger events in history. Here is Kamala Harris comparing January 6th to both Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing.
Where they were?
When our democracy came under assault. December 7th, 1941. September 11th, 2001. And January 6th, 2021.
Great moments in Democrats comparing things to much larger events in history. Here is Al Gore comparing climate change deniers to those police officers that did not run into a massive school shooting in Uvalde, Texas.
This is time for all of us to step up. You know, the climate deniers are really in some ways similar to all of those almost 400 law enforcement officers in Uvalde, Texas, who were waiting outside an unlocked door while the children were being massacred. They heard the screams, they heard the gunshots, and nobody stepped forward.
Murdered children, the same as somebody that's going, you know, for all this global warming I've been hearing about, it's pretty damn cold winter.
That is incredibly offensive. I mean, the same old thing. Rich people with power telling you your behavior is killing the country. And then Al Gore turns around with the same thing with private jets and his giant mansion with $30,000 utility bills and a giant carbon footprint. But yeah, it's the same thing as Uvalde.
So remember when
Holy
Donald
God
Trump
almighty.
killed the terrorist leader al-Baghdadi? Al-Baghdadi is dead. Dead. Morning Joe said Donald Trump saying that was just like what Saddam Hussein or Muammar Gaddafi would do.
The President of the United States went on talking about how Baghdadi died like a, quote, dog, a coward, a whimpering.
Dog.
Whimpering and sniveling. He sounded not like a president of the United States. He actually sounded like Saddam Hussein after torturing people. Sounded like Muammar Gaddafi after he would torture people.
Joe Scarborough does not get to lecture anybody anymore. After his little rant about, this is the best Joe Biden's ever been. I know. He's more than cogent. He doesn't get to lecture anybody ever again. As a matter of fact, if you want to tweet Morning Joe, find that clip and just keep tweeting it to him because he lost all credibility.
Can you say cogent again real quick?
This is how Morning Joe says it. He's more than cogent. God, what a just
that's funny to me
horrible
for some reason.
person. Cogent. Shut up. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, I'm pretty fired up because Galaxy Concrete Coatings, they did a phenomenal job redoing my garage floor. My new Galaxy Garage Concrete floor is out of this world. Now that that's out of the way, they're coming into the house, going down into my basement, and taking care of that gross furnace room with all the cracked, dirty concrete, and they're going to turn it into something. It'll be a room I actually want to spend time in and not some haunted, creepy room that's in the bottom of our house. So Galaxy Concrete coming in to do that pretty soon. They can do anything. Garage, basement, pool deck, any indoor, outdoor area concrete. Hammer is getting hooked up with them too. Check out their website to see pictures. Get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms, with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years!
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five!
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text MAINE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text MAIN to 321-321. That's MAINE to 321-321.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, a man was caught with weed and coke at his home in Greenwood today. The forecast headed into March is apparently hard to predict. And after threatening to go on strike, workers at Rolls-Royce now have a new contract. Those stories and more all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Push for peace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump meeting with Britain's prime minister about the war in Ukraine, a day before Ukraine's president is due at the White House to sign an economic deal with the U.S.
The next step we're making is toward a very achievable ceasefire. We hope that can happen quickly.
The president also says he believes Russia's president will keep his word if a deal is made. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer reiterating his support for a possible European peacekeeping force.
I'm clear that the UK is ready to put boots on the ground and planes in the air to support a deal, working together with our allies, because that is the only way that peace will last.
A federal judge is ordering Trump administration officials to sit for questioning under oath about DOGE efforts led by Elon Musk to gain access to sensitive government databases. This after a lawsuit by labor unions and others. The same judge has refused to completely block DOGE access as that legal fight continues. Investigators not ruling out foul play in the death of Oscar winner Gene Hackman, found dead in his New Mexico home yesterday. His wife also dead in a different room.
There was no indication of a struggle. There was no indication of anything that was missing from the home or disturbed. That would be indication that there was a crime that had occurred.
Santa Fe County Sheriff Adon Mendoza, preliminary autopsy results finding no external trauma.
Hackman, one of Hollywood's most revered actors, starred in classics like The French Connection.
All right, Popeye's here. Get your hands on your heads.
Mississippi Burning, Hoosiers, and Superman. Tributes are pouring in. Francis Ford Coppola wrote, in part, the loss of a great artist, always cause for both mourning and celebration, inspiring and magnificent in his work and complexity.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Gene Hackman was 95. He won Oscars for The French Connection and Unforgiven. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Caught with drugs, 54 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. It is all clear to radar when you take a look. Low temperatures tonight down to the 30s. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Illegal narcotics and drug paraphernalia were all found inside of a Greenwood home this morning.
And the man inside that home was arrested. I'm John Herrick. He's been identified as Kenji Edison. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says this is not Edison's first run-in with law enforcement.
We've had other incidents where he's been arrested and brought to our jail on some criminal charges.
Edison is also accused of raping a woman at gunpoint in 2019. Burgess credits the community for calling in with tips about Edison's behavior. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Temperatures will go up and then down over the next few days. Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the weather is going to be unpredictable as we move into March.
That's why we get this roller coaster of temperatures. When a system is approaching us, we get warmer air that pushes northward. We warm up, and then as the system starts to move out, the cold air that's behind the system pushes in, and then we get colder. So that's why you see the roller coaster in temperatures.
According to Mello, one thing's for sure, it's going to be windy for the rest of the week. Rolls-Royce workers in Indianapolis will not be hitting the picket lines. United Auto Workers members announced yesterday they've reached a tentative deal with the company just before their contract deadline.
While the bargaining team behind me are extremely proud of this tentative agreement and all the work that it took to win it, we know that ultimately this decision is up to our members and our members alone.
UAW President Shawn Fain confirmed the deal just after 10:30 yesterday night, saying the 5-year agreement does come with some big pay raises. And Indianapolis is familiar with hosting big events, and the Pacers say they're staying competitive by adding fresh entertainment.
And that's where Heartbeat comes in. It's a company blending basketball, comedy, music, and culture, and it's owned by comedian Kevin Hart.
I do believe that we can do some pretty cool things together to where the impact that the combination of Indiana and Heartbeat can have together can be pretty dope.
And the partnership tips off during WNBA All-Star Weekend here in Indianapolis in July. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Hey, Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Valentine's Day is behind us, and Groundhog's Day and President's Day are in the rear view, but there's still time to take advantage of Window Nation's amazing offer. Save 60% on all window styles and pay nothing for 2 years, only at Window Nation now through the end of February to save big on some of the best windows you could buy.
To get windows that will protect your home and family for decades, get a quote on the windows that are going to stop the drafts, stop the leaks, and save you money on your utility bills every month. Save 60%, 60% on all window styles and pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends February 28th. Schedule that free in-home consultation by calling Window Nation at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. 866-90-NATION, windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Northbound 465 before Penn Pike. That's a crash blocking the right shoulder. Stop and go traffic back to I-74, a 7-minute delay. Hancock County, crash eastbound 70 like you're going to Greenfield. This is a couple miles before Fortville Pike and a few miles after Mount Comfort Road, so it's right there between Mount Comfort and State Road 9. The crash is blocking the right lane, causing stop traffic to County Road 400. That's going to be a several mile delay. I would consider using US 40 instead. Eastbound 70 to the south, split jam from Tibbs Avenue, 9-minute delay. Inbound 65, stop and go from the White River Bridge to the north, split. That's a 12-minute delay. South side eastbound 465, a grind after 31 past I-65. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Ben Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
After a breezy afternoon, winds slow down Thursday night. Skies become partly cloudy, and we'll see a low temperature around 32 degrees. Friday looks to be even windier with a wind advisory in the mix in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renar Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Sad news out of Hollywood. Gene Hackman, 95 years old. Very famous actor. We know him as Hoosiers.
Coach Dale.
Coach Dale, Norman Dale. The movie Hoosiers. You and I both being Hoosiers. That's one of those movies in the mid-'80s. I remember being a kid living in Liston, thinking it was so cool hearing about a Hollywood movie being filmed in our state, in our local. It was in Brownsburg, the next town over. I lived in Liston, Brownsburg, just right down 136. And I just remember thinking as a kid, this is the coolest thing ever. Now, I never went to any of the filmings or whatever, those basketball scenes or whatever. But
everybody seems like they know somebody that was an extra in that movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, Mark Patrick. MPOS.
That's right.
Has a scene when Jimmy Chitwood comes back to the town hall, right?
Correct.
I think he's in there. But circumstances that are involved with his death are very strange and very ugly. I mean, the headline on Fox News, Gene Hackman and wife's death called suspicious. Bodies showed signs of mummification. I don't know. Should we try to play this 911 call they just released that are involved with his death? Wait.
Turn your YouTube off.
My turn. Let me try this. He keeps on saying damn, whoever this is. Are you with the patient?
The dog barking.
Well, there were two dogs. One of the dogs was dead. Come on.
Property. There's no address here. So I have to meet the ambulance or the police, whoever, down at the gatehouse. I'll bring them up here.
I'm just playing this straight off FoxNews.com.
Okay. How old is the patient?
How old?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay, that's fine. Is the patient a male or a female?
I mean, you got to remember the police report is saying the remains are like almost mummified.
So they'd been there a while.
I'm about a minute into this. There's a minute left. Do we want to try to listen to any more of this?
Just a little bit more.
Okay.
A female and a male, probably. I don't know, sir. Just send somebody up here real quick.
Okay. Are they awake?
Are they awake?
I have no idea.
Are they breathing?
I have no idea. I'm not inside the house. It's closed. It's locked. I can't go in. But I see them. She's laying down on a floor from the window.
Okay.
Oh.
So this was a neighbor or something of the Hackmans then.
Okay. Do they appear to be completely awake?
On the way?
Do they appear to be awake or alert?
No. It's not.
Okay.
They're dead, idiot.
Oh, it's an ugly situation, but that was part of the 911 call that was just released. Again, Gene Hackman, his wife, 30 years younger than he is, and one of the dogs dead. Another dog, obviously, barking, and lots of stuff about pills being strewn about. The front door was ajar.
I've got the statement from the Santa Fe detective's office here. Now, keep in mind, early this morning, real early, you probably woke up and heard about this story.
Sure.
We were being told no foul play. No foul play, which most people thought, is this carbon monoxide poisoning? Is this, I don't know what it is. But now they're saying their deaths are, quote, suspicious. And a Santa Fe detective was the one that got the search warrant, believes that these two deceased individuals appear to be suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. Here are some things that he put in his report. The front door of the residence was found open and unsecured. Now, maybe this was like a neighbor or something trying to get in to check on him like we heard. I don't know.
He said he was looking at him on the ground through a window.
Right. But maybe he tried to open the door, and that's when investigators got there. No idea. But according to the report here, the residence front door open and unsecured. Also, the family dog was laying 10 to 15 feet from Jean's wife in a closet of the bathroom.
Weird.
While the healthy dog, which we heard on that soundbite there, roaming around freely on the property. There was a heater that had been moved away from where it normally was. There was a prescription pill bottle that was opened with pills scattered next to the female body. Weird. Jean Hackman's body was located in a separate room of the residence. And to answer a lot of questions that people had earlier in the day, no obvious signs of a gas leak. There was a search warrant that was given, and it looked like no signs at all of any gas issues.
All right. So that's all we know about the circumstances surrounding his death. At 95 years old, that's a long life. He hadn't acted since 2004. His last movie was Welcome to Mooseport, where I believe Ray Romano, is that where he played a U.S. president that was retired, and he returns to his hometown or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
What other Gene Hackman movies? I need to go back and watch The Unforgiven again. I haven't seen that for years and years.
He was so good in that.
The early 90s.
He won the award and Clint Eastwood didn't.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood directed. Yeah, right. I loved him in The Firm opposite Tom Cruise. Is Tom Cruise's mentor in that movie.
Mississippi Burning was an amazing movie.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that one.
Powerful. Runaway Jury was really good, where he's the lawyer and he's trying to customize a jury for the verdict that he wants.
Crimson Tide opposite Denzel, the submarine war military movie. And then right after he did Crimson Tide, he did a movie called Get Shorty. Remember Get Shorty?
Travolta, right?
Yeah. Gene Hackman, Rene Russo, Danny DeVito, and John Travolta. Really, really funny movie.
And he was such a diverse actor. Like, he could be in a Western. He could be the basketball coach in Hoosiers. And Kathleen points out in the YouTube chat, he was in the movie The Birdcage with, like, Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. The Birdcage.
Yeah, I don't remember his character in that. Was that the one where Birdcage? Was that the one where Robin Williams dressed up as a woman?
Yes, I believe it is.
Or was that Mrs. Doubtfire?
You have to be more specific. But I believe there was a dressing up of a woman in The Birdcage as well.
Okay, I got confused there for a second. I'm sorry.
Didn't realize how many roles he dressed as a woman in.
He was really funny in the Royal Tenenbaums. And
Lex Luthor, the Superman movies.
And then, of course, people probably are wondering why we aren't talking about Hoosiers. I mean, that's obvious.
Right. Spent a lot of time talking about Hoosiers earlier in the show.
We did.
Coach Dale. And again, he hated that movie.
That's what's crazy about that.
Could not stand working on it. Thought it was going to be the end of his career. And then by the time he was all finished with his career, when people wanted to come up and shake his hand or get an autograph, they were yelling things like, "Coach, I'll make it."
Yeah.
You know, everything from Hoosiers. How about Jake Tapper? Is there a bigger hypocrite this side of Joe Scarborough than Jake Tapper? My goodness. So Jake Tapper of CNN.
Wow, that's hilarious.
He went from being a defender of Joe Biden and arguing that he did not have cognitive decline and going off on people who would say as much.
Right.
To now having a new book out called, quote, Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, the Cover-Up, and the Disastrous Choice to Run Again.
You don't say.
So he used to get mad at people if you said Joe Biden has lost his marbles, and now he's got a book out there talking about how people covered up the fact that he lost his marbles. Let's go back a few years here. Let's jump in the old hot tub time machine.
Okay.
This was an interview Jake Tapper did. I want to say this might be with Laura Trump on CNN, where she mentions Joe Biden's clearly in cognitive decline, and Jake Tapper gets his little panties in a bunch.
Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. I can't. That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar.
And now that same dude has a book out called President Biden's Decline, The Cover-Up. Last time I checked, old Jakester didn't have his medical license either, and now he's got a book out ripping on the people that covered it up like he did. Again, you can't hate some of these people enough. From Morning Joe to Jake Tapper, these people are the worst. The worst. Matt Baer is one of the best, and he's got to look at the roads.
Yeah, Hammer, looking at Hancock County, eastbound 70 crash before Fortville Pike. And right now, traffic is backed up for several miles. Not quite to Mount Comfort Road, but I would consider exiting there and using US 40 instead to get to Greenfield or maybe Knightstown. Looking at inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic, White River Bridge to the north, split a 10-minute delay. Looking at eastbound 465 south side, slow from 31 over to Arlington Avenue. Eastbound 70 jammed up, Belmont to the south, split for a 10-minute delay. Inbound 69 stop-and-go 106 282nd and northwest side northbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Get matched to your perfect bed now and sleep at night. Plus, if you see a lower price, they'll match it. Restrictions apply. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
On the YouTube chat, in regards to that Jake Tapper clip, AK6143 writes, I don't remember Tapper complaining when they had Sanjay Gupta on their network saying Trump had heart disease just by looking at him. Now, Sanjay's got a medical license, but he just looked at a picture. He didn't get any blood work. He didn't do a physical on him. He just looked at him. Oh, yeah, heart disease.
It wasn't even a clip like of President Trump moving around. It was just a picture,
right?
Like you said, of him smiling and standing there. Oh, yeah, heart disease.
How much does he weigh? Oh, yeah, dead man walking, heart disease. I know I'm a doctor and not a quack in any way. Right now, 53 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. We're going to play Are You Okay With This next.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Spring in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint, and the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house, and all the pillars and everything. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
With Rhino Shield's 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never have to paint your home again. And right now, you can have Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and if you don't want to paint the house, that would be the way to go.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Go now to bwindow.com and receive $400 off per window and $250 off any patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
A guitarist on Instagram, Hammer.
Okay.
It's going viral. Boggs and I were talking about this last week when he was filling in for you. I feel like going viral is like when you say that, it's like so 2005.
Right.
And we haven't found a word to really replace it yet. Have we?
Popular on social media.
Just say viral. I mean, you could just say viral. Anyway, he's gone viral on social media after playing the lead solo from Freebird on a 16th century style lute.
Sounds like something Ethan Hatcher would have. Like if you told me somebody's got a 16th century lute, okay, I'm going to come to the table and say it's got to be Ethan Hatcher.
Do you know what one of the? It looks like a guitar. It's a giant, like egg-shaped wooden bass with a huge neck coming out of it with strings. It kind of looks like a guitar, but it looks difficult to play.
It's called a lute?
A lute. A lot of people are associate them with William Shakespeare. So someone called Free Bard broke out his lute and did the solo on this 16th century style instrument. Go ahead.
Won't you fly free?
All right.
All right. Okay. I mean, it sounds pretty credible to me.
could totally listen to this.
Again, a 16th century lute.
Oh, yeah, I'm all right with
That
this.
sounds like an acoustic guitar. I guess it's essentially maybe what it is.
Like, I read yesterday that country singer Clayton Anderson, Hoosier, is going to be opening up some, like, honky-tonks here in Indy
You're
and
kidding.
Broad-Ripple. Right.
Really?
That sounds like a version of Freebird I could hear in one of those honky-tonks.
Yeah.
Like, if you go down to Nashville on Broadway, like all those, Kid Rocks and Jason Aldean's and Old Reds and all those types of places, sounds like a song you would hear there.
Okay.
Now, here's my question to you. Is that lute version of Freebird, the breakdown, better or worse than the one that this dude did on the recorder like we used to play as kids in school? Lute or recorder?
I'm going lute. I'm going 16th century.
Oh, I'm
here
coming to
on
the
this
table with the
one.
recorder every time.
Okay. Oh boy, your buddy, your personal euchre partner, Billy Idol.
Asked me to get him drugs once.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about weed, right?
Oh, he wanted the, quote, hard stuff. Where are the hard drugs at?
Billy, he has a new album coming out in April. He just released the first single. It's called Still Dancing, and he's still with his guitarist and songwriter, Steve Stevens. Should we play a little bit of it? I think.
Sure. I edited it down a little bit here.
Okay, yeah, get to the chorus there.
Okay, here's what I've noticed about that. As Billy gets a little older, the music gets louder, you don't hear him as much, and there may be a little, not auto-tune, but some processing involved
Yeah,
there.
sure. Backing vocals,
Right.
backtrack, yeah.
Because in the past, it was all Billy doing like strong vocals, right?
Sure.
But he's getting older now, and listen, when he comes to concert this year, it sounds like a great show.
August 30th.
Yeah.
Grew off.
I would love to go see Billy Idol again. Again, the last time I saw him, I was working at WZPL, and he was part of a concert we did. I was the promotions dork. Walks off stage. He's sweaty. He wipes his, sweat off with a towel, looks at me, swear to God, quote, "Oh, where are the hard drugs at?" Billy, we got some beers over here, and I could probably get you some weed if you want, man, but that's...
Here's a Meisterbrow, Billy.
Everything else is going to take a little longer. I got to make some phone calls. So we're going to play a little game here. How many Billy Idol songs does producer Allison know? Now, Allison is substantially younger than you and I, Nige. We kind of grew up in the Billy Idol era.
Yeah.
I've got a 7-song hit montage of Billy Idol. The over-under is set at 4.5. Do you think Allison will know 5 or more to hit the over, or 1 through 4 to cash the under? Under.
Yeah.
Okay. Allison, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. 1 for 1. Dancing with myself. All right. We got 1. Okay.
Yes.
Hot in the City, number 2. All right.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Nope.
No.
Oh, come on, Allison.
Wow, 2 in a row.
Really?
I don't think so. No.
Uh-oh.
Wow. I forgot about this one.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Yes.
3. Hey,
I win.
Well, I can't finish that. Yes, cash that under. Allison getting 3. Boy, you missed a Rebel Yell.
Yeah, that was the White Wedding. I think.
White Wedding and Rebel Yell back to back. That's strong, Allison. My goodness. Come on now.
Sorry,
Come on.
guys.
All right, coming up here in just a moment, Rob Kendall's got information on the property tax rally. If you are mad as hell and are not going to take this anymore, Rob's got an event for you. That's coming up right after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Arrested for drugs in Greenwood. Partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-50s. Your radar is clear. Low tonight drops to about 29. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. A man named Kenji Edison was arrested Thursday morning at a home in Greenwood along Morgantown Road. Johnson County Sheriff Dwayne Burgess says Edison had lots of drugs on him, and law-abiding citizens had been letting police know about it with calls to tip lines.
Whenever we do get those, I make sure that the guys are on top of their game, which they do a tremendous job as we work with the Greenwood and the Franklin Police Department to go out and investigate those tips, their tips, or any other agency's tips to see what we can do to keep Johnson County citizens safe.
Edison's been arrested several times before. Police believe he raped a woman at gunpoint back in 2019. President Donald Trump is hopeful a ceasefire is possible between Ukraine and Russia.
The next step we're making is toward a very achievable ceasefire. We hope that can happen quickly.
Trump plans to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tomorrow to sign an agreement. Zelensky's previously said he's not going to agree to any sort of deal that does not provide security for his nation. UAW members at the Rolls-Royce plant here in Indianapolis pushed for better pay and retirement, and they got it. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Late Wednesday night, union boss Sean Fain thanked the bargaining team for reaching the tentative deal, but said,
"We know that ultimately this decision is up to our members."
He said the 5-year agreement comes with big pay raises for low-tiered workers.
We raised the company match from 5% to 7% while keeping the additional 3% company contribution.
And union members will review the details and vote on the agreement in the coming days. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Forecasters say rain is possible as temperatures drop. Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says they're keeping an eye on the chances.
Right now it looks dry. Just wouldn't completely rule it out yet. It's just this time of year it's really easy for us to have, some lingering low-level moisture that keeps maybe some light rain around.
Mello says snow isn't likely anytime soon, in case you're wondering, but it is going to be windy the next handful of days. The average price you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $2.86, says GasBuddy.com. That's lower than the national average of $3.10. And with a look at the roads at 5:33, how's it going, Matt Bear?
Harrison, not badly. We do have delays all over the place. Inbound 65 stop and go White River Bridge down to the north split, a 10-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go from Belmont into the south, a split. And then on the east side, northbound 465, cleanup continues on a crash at Penn Pike. Right shoulder closed and traffic slow 270. Southbound lanes of 465 on the east side, stop and go traffic from 70 down to Brookville Road. Eastbound as 70 between Mountain Comfort Road and State Road 9. A stall has cleared, but traffic is still slow as you peel off from Mountain Comfort Road on eastbound 70, slow for about a mile and a half. It's getting a lot better since the stall cleared. Traffic sponsored by B Window. This month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
After a breezy afternoon, winds slow down Thursday night. Skies become partly cloudy, and we'll see a low temperature around 32 degrees. Friday looks to be even windier with a wind advisory in the mix in the afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renar Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here, also joining us live in studio to go off the rails. One Mr. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. How are you?
Great. Thanks as always to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
A big announcement on the Kendall and Casey Show. You're taking the show out on the road. Tell us about what's going on St. Patrick's Day.
March the 17th, 1 p.m. at the Indiana State House. We are going to have the property tax rally. This will be the Custer's last stand of the property tax fight, and we're inviting everybody at 1 p.m. on St. Patrick's Day. Show up, wear your green shirt. Now, we chose green because, well, the angry red-shirted teachers get whatever they want. So if it's just wearing a colored shirt is how you get the influence.
Sure.
We thought we'd do green because we would like our money back that has been taken from us over the past 4 or 5 years with these skyrocketing property taxes.
And if you're looking for a green shirt, I'm just saying, store.hammerandnigel.com.
Yeah.
Purchase it by tomorrow, though, so you can get it in time. Now, if somebody wants to get down to the State House before 1 o'clock, you're doing the live broadcast, right?
Oh, wait, you're doing a whole show there?
We're 9 to noon. We'll be right outside the Pig at the Lieutenant Governor's office. The big giant Pig will be right there doing a live show.
Now, you're going to need to backtrack a little bit. A lot of people have no idea what you're talking about, the giant Pig.
Oh, yes. So, the Lieutenant Governor.
Joy Behar's going to be there?
The Lieutenant Governor, for now, they haven't stolen this from him, is in charge of agriculture in the state of Indiana. And so outside the Lieutenant Governor's office, there is a giant pig statue, and we're going to be right out there in broadcasting next to the big giant pig.
Well, I want to start out this conversation by offering you an apology. I was very dismissive of you yesterday. Towards the end of Hammer and I's discussion with Governor Braun, we gave him you had written up a list of things that you would do for local Doge, like a local version of the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon Musk is doing.
And when we say you wrote it up, it was on a piece of computer printout paper and written in Sharpie.
Yeah, so it wasn't the most professional-looking document.
Right. Not quite the Constitution.
and on the air, I admit I was very dismissive when Hammer was reading it, and he gave it to the governor, and the governor took it. He said, I'm going to take this and look at this and put it on my desk. I'm keeping it. He took it out with him. So I apologize to you.
Thank you.
And I feel like I owe you one.
Well, so let's recap what we had kind of said, because this came out of so many people had been emailing and Twittering and whatever and said, Rob, you'd be the perfect person to run Indiana Doge. And so finally I just got tired of hearing it. And I thought, okay, I was laying in bed the other night. I thought, okay, what would this actually look like if I were like a serious assessment, very high level? What would an Indiana Doge actually look like? And what did I think I could find versus what it would cost to find it? And so I came up with the following things, and I was being very serious when I put this proposal together. Now, we had fun. I wrote it down real quick, gave it to him. You guys he was awesome.
I told him to wad it up and throw it and try to make a basket in the trash can with it.
But the reality of the thing is, if he were to come to me and say, I'm interested in learning more about this, I would put together a very professional proposal for him. But I came up with the following things. One, I think you could easily find about $2.3 billion.
No, you could easily find.
Right, yes. Me and my little merry band of misfits I'd put together, which we can get to that in a second, could find about $2.3 billion. The state budget is about $46.7 billion biennial budget. I think I could find 5% of that, no problem. I know the number one guy I would hire. I talked to him yesterday. He's like, I could find that in a month. He's like, it'd be no problem. I know you guys had mentioned it a year.
And the timeline was a year.
Yeah. But there was some guy I know who I would absolutely hire first and foremost, and we had a serious conversation back and forth yesterday. He's like, oh yeah, I could find that no problem. But I said I would set a target of $2.3 billion, a floor of $1 billion. So the minimum we would find is $1 billion. I think we could easily find $2.3 billion. And I said, I think I would need a staff of about 10 people. I started thinking in my head, who would I get to work on this with me? I need a staff of about 10 people.
So you're like Danny Ocean in Ocean's 11 when it comes to saving taxpayer money, right? You need a Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You need a guy that can configure himself inside of like a suitcase.
Yeah, no. And like, we're laughing about this, but seriously, like, I have people who I know. I started thinking this through, and I've reached out to some of these people, and they were like, yeah, I would totally be on board with that, in different departments that could do things, because you'd have to pick it apart department by department. And I'd need about 10 people. I think I could put that together for about $2.5 million for a year. I could run that office for about $2.5 million for the year. And I said, look, I'm so confident we'd find this money and find it fast that, I'd set it up where we wouldn't get paid until we find the money. Like, you owe us nothing. If we don't find $1 billion, it doesn't cost us, you, the taxpayers, anything. But think of it. And everybody's fired up about this because they know I'd find it. They know I'd find that $1 billion. They know I'd probably find the $2.3 billion.
Where would the savings go?
Well, that's the big part, right? I'm not interested in reallocating revenue. I'm not interested in, we're going to pay this thing down, or we're going to expand this program. I would only do this if there was an agreement that all the money saved would go back to the taxpayers in terms of a taxpayer rebate. And so
nothing to education, nothing to infrastructure, going back to the taxpayers.
It's your money. It's been wasted. We'll find it. We'll prove it. We'll lay it out for you. It's been wasted. You deserve your money back. And so you think about this. If we found $1 billion, and it depends on how many actual taxpayers there are, because there's obviously a state of 7 million people. A lot of people are kids. They don't pay taxes, et cetera. But let's just say it's 4 million people. It's basically $250 a person. If we found $1 billion, think if we found the $2 billion, it's $500 we could send back to every single person. And it's not stuff you'd know is gone. It's just waste, fraud, abuse, and mismanagement.
So the big question is, and I feel like I've been asking you this quite often on this segment, why aren't the Republicans doing this already? Why hasn't this been done? What's keeping somebody from doing this already?
Grift is the word you're looking for. I mean, look at what we've uncovered with this property tax thing, where you've got guys like Scott Baldwin and Brett Clark, who are senators, who are going to screw you on property taxes, and then it comes out they work for or with these construction management companies, who a lot of their profits, I mean, they're big companies. The Envoy, the company Baldwin runs, is a $2 billion company according to their website, and they make a ton of money off these local government construction projects, which are funded with property taxes.
Now, Baldwin is one of the guys that was on the original committee that gutted SB 1, the property tax bill. The first thing they did was gut it. And later, we're finding out, well, one of the reasons why is he's got skin in the game on the other side.
Yeah, these Republican lawmakers would throw a fit. And I think Braun could do this through executive order. I mean, he's done a pretty good job with these executive orders so far. He could create this committee by executive order, put us in charge of it. $2.5 million, you wouldn't even know that's gone. Of course, it would be predicated on us saving you $1 billion. So think about what a great investment that
billion
is. Yeah,
with a B.
What other person would be like, you give me $2.5 million, I'll give you $1 billion. Oh, and if I don't get it, you don't owe me anything, right?
Right.
Let's just say I save you $500 million, then you save $500 million and I don't get paid anything.
So your team of around 10 people, again, your Ocean's 11 squad, the bankroll would be $2.5 million to save a minimum of $1 billion, possibly as much as $2.5.
I like it.
And again, if we don't unlock $1 billion, you don't get paid.
Your pizza's free.
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. So all the savings we find is free to the taxpayers. But the point is, Republican lawmakers would never allow this to happen, because we would uncover all of this crap that they're pulling and the legalized vote buying schemes and all this other stuff they're involved in, and it would make them look bad.
See, what's interesting is that when you're talking about the Elon Musk stuff at a national level, it's predominantly Democrats who have done ridiculous things, and they don't want Doge in there because it would uncover their bull crap. Here in the state of Indiana, where it's been a Republican supermajority for a long time, it's the Republicans who are afraid of pulling back the veil.
And I told, and you guys said this yesterday, and it was just a great segment. The whole thing was great. The property tax conversation. I loved the thing you got into with the Diet Coke button. I thought was great. That was the most personality I've ever seen him show, and he needs to do more of that, because he is a good guy.
That's a lot of the feedback that we've received, is that, Braun comes off as a dude you kind of want to have a beer with when he comes on our show.
He brought us beer a couple of appearances ago.
Yeah,
I believe.
And unlike Holcomb, who you just could tell that guy's just an elitist a-hole, I don't think Braun is any of that, even though he's super rich. I mean, I think he's a down-to-earth guy. He needs to show more personality than he shows that with you guys. You guys are great at getting that out of him. But to come back to the Doge thing, people are fired up about it because they know we'd find the money. They know it exists. Nobody would be better at this than us. We would have a great team of people. Many of them have worked in state government for years. They know where the bodies are buried, and it would be a win-win for everybody. But these Republicans, and if Braun is serious about it, I would have the conversation with him. If he really wanted to find $1 billion, I would have the conversation with him.
Would you take 1 year off of doing your #1 rated radio show? Let's say you had a deal in place with our boss, David, to where you're off for 1 year. It's a 1 year furlough, but you're going to have a job when you come back. Would you take the year off to do this?
Yes, and here's why. Because I am here. We're clearly not here for the money. I think we can all agree to that, right? We have different reasons we're here, and one of the reasons I'm here is the voice, the ability to help people and try to motivate people each day to put things like the property tax rally together. If you had a year, and look, I said I would do it for the exact same pay I make here, so I'm not asking for any extra money. I would do it for to the penny.
You're not going to be a hypocrite and get rich off this process.
I would gladly show my tax return. Here's what I made last year. I will do this. And by the way, to be part of that team anyway, I would be probably the lowest paid person on my team that we would put together. But I would do it for the same amount of money. And the veil you would be able to pull back if you did this to show people the waste, to show the fraud, to show the abuse, to show how your money is not being responsibly spent. You guys remember when we did those Where's Your Money videos I used to do?
Yeah, I used to love those videos.
Yeah. We found like $20 million in 3 minutes, and I was just doing a cursory reading of the budget. If I had a team of professionals, and like I said, of the team of 10, I know about 6 or 7 that I would definitely have, we would take just a machete to this thing, and it would be, they would be blown away. And the ability to do that and show people how inefficient and ineffective your government is, and just a crony capitalism soup it is. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nige, can you visualize this if you close your eyes after Rob has found nearly $3 billion for the taxpayers? They're all lined up in front of the Bellagio fountain. They're looking and admiring their work like at the end of Ocean's 11.
Yes, I could totally see that.
It would be great for the taxpayers. I would have the conversation with him if he were serious. And look, he didn't outright dismiss it yesterday.
He didn't.
I think he's interested in it. I think they would take a big leap before his people would let Cousin Eddie in their orbit. But, never say never.
Can you come right back? I got one more question I want to get to here with the going off the rails with Rob Kendall on the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed, a Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and want to work with a local independent dealer you can trust, like B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer East Side crash northbound 465 before Penn Pike on the right shoulder. No delay there. Inbound 65. Stop and go traffic MLK to the north split for a 12-minute delay. Eastbound 70 dragging into the south split back from Belmont. Stop and go traffic from Belmont to west. And then you start moving a lot better from there. South side eastbound 465 slows from I-65 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by B Window this month at bwindow.com. Receive $400 off per window and $250 per patio or entry door, plus 2.99% financing. B Window, proud to be employee owned. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
52 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Back with Rob Kendall, going off the rails. You don't like this thing Trump is doing with the taxes and the waiters and the waitresses and eliminating. What's he doing, first of all, and why don't you like it with the whole tax thing and eliminating taxes on tips and stuff like that?
Well, you don't know for sure because they haven't actually written the law yet.
Right.
And Trump just makes proclamations, and then you have no idea how the details of it actually work. But in his speeches or whatever, he's proposed, and it is approved in some shape, form, or fashion in this reconciliation process that started to get rid of federal income tax on people who work for tips. And my thing with this is, God bless the bartenders and the servers. I've been one. I've done the thing. I understand how the thing works. But your job is not better than anybody else's. You're not better than a teacher or a guidance counselor or a roofer or a plumber or a carpenter or
But they're getting paid substantially less, right? If you're a server, you're getting less than minimum wage because you work for tips. Is that how it still is?
Yeah, but that's fine. But the point is, then they're not paying any federal income tax on that money, which is the majority of their money. And God bless those guys that work down at St. Elmo's or Ruth Chris. They're not. They present all these servers as like poor singing orphans. It's like those people are making a lot of money, right? I mean, they're doing quite well.
Well, I would think, though, again, and I don't have the information in front of me, but I would feel like the folk at St. Elmo or Ruth's Chris are more the exception than the rule, right? I don't know if you can even still sit down at Steak and Shake. When I worked there, you could. But I feel like they get substantially less tips than, say, somebody at Harry and Izzy's.
Yeah, but the point is, your job is not better than anybody else's job. And we always hear from the Republicans, the tax code is too complicated. We're picking winners and losers in the tax code. That's exactly what this is doing.
Then should they be paid more up front? Like, so many businesses say, all right, you get tips on your job, so you're going to make less. But you still got to pay taxes on it. What's the fix on that?
There's already a huge portion of this industry that is untaxed anyway with the cash, right? The only thing that's we're talking about here are the credit cards. I mean, look, I don't mean to get too into the weeds, but this was not this past year, but the first year when my daughter was born, if I'd have worked that bartending job for a whole year, I'd have probably made $50,000 or $60,000. That's bartending at a local golf course. Wow. Right. I think there's two. Now, I did not make that. I don't want that to be the impression. I was a very part-time person, but I kind of did the math on.
I thought you were going to say I was a very poor bartender.
Nobody makes them Long Island iced teas like Rob Kendall.
Yeah, the mailman kept me in business. Yeah. But my point is that I want the tax code to be fair. Let's get rid of federal income tax on everyone, right? I'm not trying to pick on these people. I'm just saying you're making the tax code more complex. You're adding to the debt because it's not being offset with spending cuts. So we're making inflation greater, which means now you and I are subsidizing these people who are no longer paying federal income tax. My point is, make the tax code fair, cut the spending, cut the income tax for everybody.
Or you could just listen to our sports betting podcast and win so much money you don't have to worry about it.
That's right. You know, we've listened to the same guy 2 times now who's supposed to be a Butler basketball expert, and neither time it's come through.
No. Got a push last night. Push. New Degenerates Next Door podcast now available wherever you get podcasts. And where can people go to get the information on this big property tax rally?
Well, I told my wife last night I said I have a project for you, and she got all excited. And then I was like, I need you to make me a digital billboard thing for this property tax rally. And then, in the cartoons, like Judge Doom, where the eyes shoot out of his head and Roger Rabbit, that was the look I got. But I said, too bad, you already said you'd do it. So hopefully here within the next day or two, my wife will have some sort of fabulous digital something that people can share. March 17th, 1 p.m. State House. Wear your green. Let's be loud.
Special thanks to
Garage Doors of Indianapolis. You guys are the best. Thank you.
He's off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Best are us when dreams don't get in. Best are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate.